at the end, we need to let go and to expand the boundaries. So I like people, I like relationships, and with you, it's very, very, very important relationship because we go back in time when I was 14 and you were already 15. So I was turning 15 in September, you were in May. So we met a long time ago in a wonderful island of Capri and we became friends. Our mothers are friends. And, you know, we are both a pain in the ass, maybe, but we overcame life and things. And in the end, I call you one day, yes, to know how you were out of the blue. And then I call you the second time saying, I'm coming to live in Hong Kong.
Yeah. So I can say basically, thanks to Hong Kong, I had the chance to see you again. If I was living in another place, it would not be the same. So I would never expect that one day you really come back into my life. Just say, yeah, Hong Kong, I'm coming too. It's really cool. It's amazing the case of the life.
But you are an extremely successful, an entrepreneur now because you know you are dealing with your own things, representing amazing brands. You deal with luxury, with Italian brands mostly, so from no experience, no? Because I am the one that I'm a designer without being a designer, and you created all of this without really studying for it, but it's experience, right? Absolutely. And you were talking to me the other day when we were having lunch together. You were saying it would be nice to talk about the planning of life, no? That you know you need a plan to go forward, and then you know to change in time to time, time by time. I don't know how do you say in English, but adapting to the new.
Yes, I mean depending on as a matter of life and design. Design cannot be only your home or your place or the fashion design or all the usual concept of design, but could be even design your life. So when you adapt to something, as it happened to me when I was younger, perhaps it was a matter of design, at the same time adapting. Of course, growing up and getting more experience, I think now you can design more, be more in control of design of your life. But we always thought about investment, you're supposed to diversify or different interests or different people. But now I realized that you need to have different places. Not only...
Interesting.
So, I mean, we both left Italy and set up here our, say, second life. So it's something you give up for something else. Now I think it's no longer the kind of situation like the expats, as they call it, but it's more like I don't want to give up this place, but I don't want to rely only on this place. So if I don't want to rely only on this one, I need to do a new design, a new master plan, because you saw in Italy, for example, we are coming from Italy.
But don't you think that you are there because I am a designer. When I do a design, if I change my mind, my client gets upset. And I myself with my own home, when I design something and then, you know, I change my mind, my workers, they're like, but you change your mind all the time. You can't. I'll say, hey, this is my thing. I can do whatever I want. But at the same time, our lives, it's because it's our lives, to plan life, especially you and me, do we really need to plan life? Maybe to have some boundaries, no? But maybe that's how you are. Me, if I have some boundaries, I go nuts. Maybe you need boundaries. I'm just saying this because it's the same thing, but different, no? So I tend not to design too much, but especially with this COVID thing, I wake up in the morning and say, okay, I do some meditation when I can, and I'm saying, okay, I wonder what today is going to be, because new laws of entry, of going, and new things are happening, and my studio goes well one day, another day it's like, oh my god, what's going to happen. And so if I designed before, I would be very frustrated. So for me, the way I am, I don't need any limitations or a design scheme. So I just go with the flow. Probably, I'm just saying, maybe I'm talking for you, but you can say, maybe we don't need that design, or you need, because of these boundaries. I'm just trying to explain, because all of this, it's not only about me and you, but it's about lives of people that I wish that people could identify somehow, even if they live in a small town in Italy, it's the same, And that's my second thing that I will tell you later.
You're right. Actually, our daily life is one thing. So we try to manage every single day the best we can, especially in this situation. But it's exactly like happened in the investment field or in other kind of fields. You don't look only at the short term. You look also at the medium and the long term. So this week will not change much in my life. But if a year later we are in the same situation as now, and I haven't changed anything at all, then I cannot say anymore, oh, I didn't know before, as I can say now. And that's require, let's say, maybe not completely new design or new plan, but for sure a revision of what it is right now. Because this is something I was not really prepared. I can only talk for myself.
I don't think anybody was.
And for sure, it requires some improvement in the design concept of my life. If I have to cope with this more than few months, as happened until now, let's say it could be who knows where we'll be 1 year later or 2 years later. We don't have any insurance or warranty that everything will be over by end of this year or whenever it will be. And it might not be, even whenever it comes a solution, might not be that the day after everything is over. It might take anyway some time until everything gets fixed.
You need to really adapt and shape things as they come. So to finish this thing of the design that I really like is, life design exists, for each one is different, but in the end, we all need to do that as well in order to, to fulfill our goals or wishes. And this, I think, is in mostly every field, except maybe relationships, because we are dealing with another person. So another person is a bit more complex, no? So relationships in that kind, intimate relationships, I have my theory anyways.
So I think design you find almost in everything. Of course, you cannot always be in full control of the design. You might need to adapt according to the... But for example, as you say all the time, you might have more than one solution of design, for example, instead to have only one. So,
of course.
Because you need to adapt, because your taste change, because the situation change.
Your taste changes.
I mean,
you grow up, you're not the same person now that you were 20 years ago.
When I did my design, let's say 30 years ago, more or less, I was completely prioritizing other things and approaching from a completely different perspective than now. And so my design, I think, now can be definitely much better than it was at that time. At the same time, of course, it's not so easy to always to find, even for yourself. It's like your client. You still need to deal with yourself, which is probably the most difficult client.
That's why I go to therapy since a long time. But anyways, yes. And this is why I really wish that designers and people like me, they change that thing that you were saying about the design of life, and that applying this different design of life to the actual real design of space that allows people to have a bigger space outside, if it's possible, some land or a balcony or a terrace, something, or the position of the buildings that are extremely important, you know, south or wherever you have air. I think it's extremely important.
I mean, now the space that you before considered just as a home, supposed to be 90% something also you can work with. You can
For
work
the
in-
homework.
So it
true.
become almost like
So space
a
is
home
really
office, it could be. And then you might want to have an outdoor space to give you more flexibility as well. So I think the key change in this kind of design matter is flexibility, more diversification of option that you can live into your space, so that you don't leave. Oh, okay, I cannot go to the office. Oh, okay, but my office now is here. It's okay. And I cannot go outside. Okay, but I have an outdoor space I can live with. So, talking about boundaries, you need to expand your boundaries from the traditional concept of the four walls and a roof, and that's it.
And to wrap up this nice moment that we are having, don't you think that this letting go a little bit or expanding the boundaries that you were saying, don't you think that this is something that we were forced into having this? So, because of the virus, we were forced into some boundaries that at the end we need to let go and to expand the boundaries. So it's something that is forced into doing the opposite.
This is the kind of opportunity that come up normally when you get something on the first look very negative, but then he force you to rethink many situations, many options, and especially the place you live. So I think somehow this thing might not be, of course, only negative, but it might have a lot of positive outcome later on for the way we live, for the way we think our space, whether it's a home space or it's another kind of space. And yeah, I think definitely the approach to life might change quite a lot in the future for, I would say, almost everybody, regardless the situation.
So even if the virus will not be here anymore, which hopefully it will not,
but the change will be with us. The change
will be, and actually it will even move to a larger spectrum of life design.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. I like that. Good. So okay, with this nice new life design. Grazie, caro.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Grazie.